Hey Super Souls, welcome to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's readings we are asking Spirit for guidance for the next 7 days. Now although this is a timeless reading, card number 1 definitely coming through already. Although this is a timeless reading, some of you will be following these readings. I post them every single Sunday for weekly guidance. So let us tune in to the next 7 days. We're going to draw 3 cards and a rune and a charm for each one to guide you into the readings. And I can already see reading number 2 as well. And reading number 3. Okay, so reading number 1, you have, oh wow, Super Souls, you have the 10 of Hearts. So this is the energy, the guiding picture for reading number 1. Reading number 2, Sleeping Beauty. Very lovely. This is reading number 2. And reading number 3, you have the 9 of Crystals. So for those of you that like to see the runes and the charms as well, I will draw those now. But those are the 3 guiding cards for the readings from Spirit to talk to you about the next 7 days. Okay, reading number 1, you have the rune of Possessions, of Nourishment. It's lovely. Very lovely energy. Reading number 2, Sleeping Beauty, you have the rune of Breakthrough. Reading number 3, 9 of Crystals, you have the rune of the Self. Okay. Let's draw a charm as well. Oh, wow. Reading number 1, you have a horse. That is so beautiful. There's a lot of movement in this. Okay. Reading number 2, you have the energy of the 6-pointed star. Wow. And reading number 3, you have a feather. Very beautiful feather, particularly strong directive kind of energy in there as well. It's really matching up with the crystal at the top of that card. So Super Souls, I'll leave the video running just for a few moments for any of you who have not yet been drawn into a particular reading. If you find yourself attracted to more than one, then it's probably worth listening to the messages in both. And whether you are tuning in with this reading on the day that I upload it, or during the week, or at any other time, you will always find the right reading. If you listen to your intuition, your gut feeling, you'll find the right reading for you at any time. And I will put this into the Timeless Readings playlist for any of you who just want to randomly access readings at any time, that will give you that guidance as and when you need it. Welcome Super Souls to reading number 1. You have the beautiful card of the 10 of Hearts, you have a galloping horse, and you have the rune of Nourishment and Possessions. These have drawn you in. Now it's very interesting. I don't want to say too much before we draw other cards, but this is a card of fulfillment, and so is the rune. The rune of nourishment, possessions, is ambition satisfied. It's the fulfillment of a dream. You know, it's my cup overfloweth, and I therefore have an abundance, not only for myself, but to give to everybody else as well. There's a sense of service and community, but it's service and community that is available to give through love, because you are in receipt of so much love. So there's something speeding into your life. That's what it feels like, reading number 1. But let's just draw other cards first before we jump into too much information. So I am going to draw from various tarot packs. This is the Gaia tarot. And also some oracle cards as well. There's your card. Okay. Actually, we're going to draw an archetype as well. Okay, right. Let's have a look and see what we have here. So your first archetype is the Queen. Look at that lily. Look at the colours. The snake of transformation here. Wow. Something I feel is coming to a culmination or coming into your world. Yes. Reading number 1, this is just heavenly. Say yes, yes, yes. What are you waiting for? The answer to your question is yes. Okay, where are we going to place this? Let's put this here. You have the first house, arrival. Oh, wow. Reading number 1. This is a bit heavenly, to put it mildly. Ace of Hearts, love. 6 of Trees, receiving. 7 of Stars, faith. What do we have here? We have masculine, feminine. We have 3 of Water. And we have the card of emotions. Okay. Oh, this is super. This is a lovely, lovely week for you, reading number 1. Okay. You have been processing something. You've been manifesting something. You've actually been asking for something. Now, this is really interesting because this week we actually, at the time that I'm doing these readings, you may be tuning into these at any time, but at the time that I'm actually doing these readings, we are in a week where we're going to see a new moon. And I feel like something that you have been wishing for and also consistently doing the work to get to achieve is coming to a space of arrival. Something is galloping into your world. It's as though you have achieved a point of transformational balance. We have the masculine and the feminine here coming together. The 10 of Hearts, she's holding the rainbow. First house, arrival. Ace of Hearts, love. 6 of Trees, receiving. You have been yearning for this. You've been yearning for this, and I can see that you've gone through these stars. It feels like stepping stones that you have been jumping from one to the other to climb that ladder to a space of arrival. Super souls, I think in the next 7 days, Spirit is saying to you, this is going to arrive. There's an emotional fulfillment. You're not tied by the past anymore. You know, the 3 of Water, it's like she's got a strength in her. She knows what she wants. She knows where she's come from. And she's now able actually to use her emotions as a guidance system. She's not tied down by her emotions anymore. She's empowered by them. This is a week, beautiful reading number 1, for you to say yes to life. This is a week where something you have been desiring, for some of you it will be to do with love, it will be to do with romance, it will be to do with a new stage of connection in a relationship or a new one arriving, or it will be whatever it is that you are manifesting, desiring, even if it is just that capacity to suddenly be centered. You've got there, you're no longer knocked off balance. This is a week of receiving. Open yourself to receive. You've done this work step by step. You have been yearning for this. This is the real key here that we're being shown here. You know, Spirit is really acknowledging the journey here. It's like the journey to find the rainbow, the journey to arrive, the journey to be you in a full ownership of everything. A lot of the time with our desires, we often emotionally, we move away from the negative emotions because they don't feel good, but in doing so, we kind of don't acknowledge them, and we therefore don't really allow ourselves to feel into what they're telling us, which is often a space of desire. And it's as though little by little you've done that, rather than just filling yourself up with something else to replace it, or leaping from one thing to another. You've leaned into the depths of those emotions, and now you are no longer tied by them. You can literally swim with the tide. You can stand up in the tide. You don't lose your footing. This is a beautiful reading. It's a culmination this week. You have become this week the Queen of Transformation. You rightfully sit in the throne. And Super Souls, I am just, this is gorgeous. Now I'm going to draw some more tarot cards just to ask, you know, how is this happening? How is this emerging? And maybe some oracle cards too. But in itself, Spirit is saying to you, say yes to life. Say yes to whatever it is that has been knocking on your door, or whatever it is you've been calling to knock on your door. When it knocks on your door, or you walk round the corner, or you step into something, open your heart, your arms to receive. Open your heart to receive. You really have reached in this week a point of equilibrium, a point of arrival. This beautiful stag here, this beautiful deer with these antlers full of abundance of life. The Ace of Hearts, love. It's magic. It's just, this is a magic week for you. Say yes, yes, yes. Let's bring in another tarot pack. And in fact, actually, I feel like it's so colourful. I'm going to use a very colourful tarot pack. Okay, let's ask for more information for reading number 1. What's emerging this week? Any information that Spirit can give to guide the next 7 days for reading number 1? This is the one. Okay. Oh, this is, look at this, 10 of Cups. Now, 10 of Hearts, 10 of Cups, this is the same card, effectively. Wow. And what do you have? Ace of Hearts, love. Ace of Cups, love. I mean, wow, 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 and more wow. Reading number 1. We have the Tower. We have the 7 of Swords. We have the Empress. Your world is about to change. You have been nurturing your dreams. You've been leaning into, you really have been leaning into the ups and downs, the turmoil that we actually emotionally feel before we get to the something that we're trying to bring into our lives, before we get to the something that we're trying to manifest. And you've also been in a place where you've constantly been recentering yourself, and you've been literally leaning into a space of trust and saying, look, show me a sign. If I'm having a wobble, show me a sign. You have really been learning. This feels like a magical space of learning to genuinely manifest from a position of soul. And what is happening this week, Spirit is saying to you, something you have ultimately desired, you've really, really wanted. For many of you, this is a connection to love. It's a connection to a soulmate union, you know, but something is coming into your world and it's galloping into your world. Ambitions satisfied, ambitions fulfilled. Something is galloping into your world this week. Say yes to it. You've been nurturing it. You've been in this space of, do you know, I'm just going to trust. I may be having a wobble, but I'm going to look for the signs. I'm going to stay on track. This is that life-changing moment where that bolt of lightning comes in and it's like, oh my goodness me, the stuff of my dreams is arriving. Wow, what a confirmation. Reading number 1, 10 of Hearts, 10 of Cups, it's the same. Ace of Hearts, Ace of Cups, it's the same card. Wow, wow. 7 of Swords, that turning point, that trust. 7 of Stars, faith, holding hope, walking through those challenges. And now you can receive. You've navigated this to the point where you've faced your emotions full on. This feels like the crowning of something really, really deserved. I'm not going to say any more. This is an unusually short reading number 1 for me. Often my readings are, you know, 20, 30 minutes long. You know, you'll know if you follow my readings, but there is nothing else to say here beyond validate everything you have done to get you to here. Every stepping stone you have crossed, every hurdle you've climbed, every river you walked through, every turmoil you faced, every reset of your energy where you regrounded yourself, you listened, you trusted, and you held faith. This is a week of culmination, and Spirit advises, acknowledges, values, and indeed celebrates you. Something is galloping into your world this week. Wow. Reading number 1, beautiful people. I just need to say it is a privilege to be connected with you and a privilege to read for you. And what a beautiful week for you ahead. What a beautiful 7 days of arrival, culmination, arrival, and so deserved. I am just sending you the biggest heartfelt hug in the world. Okay, super souls. If this reading is resonating with you and you'd like to get any of my readings as I upload them, every Sunday I post for the next 7 days, but you can tune into them at any time. They are timeless readings, spirit guidance for the next 7 days. At any time you need that, you will be able to find the right reading for you. I'm putting them into a timeless playlist, a timeless readings playlist, along with lots of readings that answer specific questions. So if we have a wobble or a question in any area of our lives, you know, they are there to help. So super souls, so much love to you. I do also give away a free private reading every month and a pack of oracle cards, the Art of Manifestation cards. It's a subscriber offer, and I have a subscriber email list. Just add yourself to that, and again I'll put the link in the information box and the comments for phone users too. Super souls, I just can't say any more. This is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I'm just going to leave the video running for a few moments because you may just want to sit in the pure joy of the cards in your reading. Welcome to reading number 2. You have been drawn by the card of Sleeping Beauty, the 6-pointed star, and the rune of Breakthrough. Now this is very interesting. collaboration here, because the rune of breakthrough is a radical turning point. Sometimes it can mean many things. It can be that light bulb moment, but it sometimes means that we are in a space of significant transition, like almost like a change, a point of turning. And the Sleeping Beauty card is rather like that too. In a traditional tarot, it's actually the Death card. It's transformation, it's rebirth. So I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to position it up here, and we're going to see what your other cards are showing. What does Spirit wish you to know for the next 7 days? What is taking place for reading number 2 in the next 7 days? So we're going to draw from various packs. Oops. I'm seeing a card in here wanting to come out to us. And there's your card. And we'll draw an archetype card as well, I think, in just a moment. So, what are we shown? What does Spirit wish to communicate to reading number 2 for the next 7 days? Let's have a look at your cards. So, we have the 1. Wow, that is blinding and very, very central. There's a focus here. Turning point. There's a significant focus showing in your reading. We have Juno, the card of partnership. We have the inner critic. This card asks you to transform your inner critic into an inner critique. The realistic appraisal and constructive feedback of a critique will enhance your ability to step into the very best version of yourself, whereas ongoing and persistent criticism will weigh you down, eroding your confidence and your belief in your abilities. Okay, reading number 2. I do feel you are at a significant turning point here this week, and Spirit is really wishing to speak to you about this. What have we got here? Masculine, feminine. This is really interesting. Now, I have placed the cards. When I place the cards back into a pack after one reading, I put them into different places and I shuffle, and you have 2 of the same cards. This is uncanny, that came up in reading number 1, both masculine and feminine and emotions. You then also have the 10 of air. Okay, this is the equivalent of the 10 of swords, but it's a card that is about transformation. Very, very interesting. We have the retreat, meditation. We have the card of 2 of angels, balance. And then this is the equivalent of the card of temperance, the divine order, equilibrium, in a traditional pack. Okay. So what Spirit is really speaking to you about reading number 2, and it's quite clear to me, we will draw more cards to see how this is emerging and evolving. I think the key here is our Sleeping Beauty card. You know, Sleeping Beauty fell asleep for 100 years. She was, a curse was put on her. And, you know, she was born, she was beautiful, but, you know, an evil fairy put a curse on her and said that one day she would prick her finger and she would die. And as the story goes, I'm sure most of you know this story, and then a good fairy was able to not completely wipe out that spell, that curse, but what she could do was counterbalance it. So when the princess pricked her finger, instead of dying, she actually went into a deep sleep for 100 years. And then along came a prince, kissed her, and she woke up. You're in a point of transition. Now, I do think it, for some of you, actually does connect to some aspect of relationship. We have the masculine and the feminine, and we have Juno partnership. There's some aspect of relationship that has been, it's either come to an end. I think for some of you, there has been an ending of a relationship. I'm just going to read it as I see it. That won't necessarily apply to all of you, but it will to some. There's been a completion, an ending, or an abrupt change of direction in some way. Something's happened that has caused you to actually to need to retreat, almost to regroup yourself. You may even have thought that they were the one, and somehow that came to an end in some way. And everything in this reading is asking you not to go over and over and over in a self-critical way. You know how sometimes whatever happens, especially if something happens that feels out of our control, it's really natural, in order to try and feel that we have some sense of control over something, we often go through the sort of the blaming ourselves, the self-doubt, because if you can hold yourself responsible, you can actually do something about it. And I feel something's happened in connection to someone. For some of you, it was an intimate relationship, a partnership, but it will be a connection to someone. Something's happened that has caused you to either it stopped you in your tracks, it's caused you to need to retreat, it's caused you to have to regroup, and you've been doing a lot of soul searching around it, and actually I'm going to say quite a lot of self-criticism. And Spirit is saying to you, could you press the pause button here and not do the self-criticism, because it's actually spiraling you into a deeper state of sleep. It's spiraling you. The self-criticism is spiraling you into a place where it's blocking you from moving forwards. Now, I think it is appropriate for you in the next 7 days to retreat, not in a running away place or in a space where you're retreating because you're spiraling downwards in those habitual thinking patterns, okay, but in a space where you literally maybe take some time out. The rune of breakthrough literally says sometimes something happens in life that causes us to have to take a 180-degree turn. It's actually something has happened that is causing you to ultimately see your direction as something that was different to the way that you thought your direction was. I'm not really wording that very well, but I know what I mean. It's like you thought you were going in one direction, something's happened, and you now are thinking, gosh, I'm going to have to go in a different direction, and it's a lot different. It's like the shape of what you thought something would be, something you thought you were manifesting or building or dreaming about. The shape of it has now changed, okay? But there is a prince, or the energy of a prince, the symbolic energy of a prince is waiting to come and wake you up and transform you. But you need to recoup and move out of the inner space of criticism. You need to, I mean, this card is speaking to me of more than one sort of message. You do need to regroup, but you also need to recuperate so you come back out of this with a clarity. You know, the Ten of Air is like a completion, a transformation. It's the point of transformation. So what's your spirit team, what Spirit is saying to you this week is, take some time out to rebalance. It's very, very clear. You need to regain your equilibrium. Yeah, these cards are both about balance, regaining your inner equilibrium, regaining your center. Look at the way these cards just frame themselves really beautifully. Regroup yourself, literally. That's what you're being asked to do here. Regroup, and you will find a clarity of direction. The clarity of direction will come to you. There will be, I think Spirit are saying, there will be an opening for you at the end of the week. Like a door will reopen for you the moment you are rebalanced. It's almost like, I need to just reassure you, you don't actually have to sleep for 100 years. Okay, and I'm sure you got that anyway, but you don't have to sleep for 100 years. The star is there waiting to guide you. The direction will come. This is a reading for the next 7 days at whatever time you're tuning into it. So you do need to replenish, to recenter, rebalance, replenish, and Spirit are saying to you, this is literally a point, you are needing to re-find a point of balance within you. A point where your emotions are no longer driving you. I think what's happened is your emotions and your mind have got into a downward spiral. And I do voice this. I don't do these readings to plug my books, but I did, for those of you who are new to my channel, I worked as an accredited counsellor, a psychotherapist for over 28 years before I moved into really bridging the gap between, you know, psychotherapy and spirituality, which is very much what doing these readings is also about. But I wrote a book called Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness. I also have an online library full of resources that will teach you how to use your emotions as a source of empowerment. There's tons of stuff, meditations as well. There's a series of emotional meditations that will, through meditation, allow you to release and also bring you understanding of the most challenging emotions we have and how they can support us. I'll put links to the library in the information box and the comments for phone users, but you know, it's a free resource, so do access it. It's completely free and always will be. Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness is a book that literally takes you through our most challenging emotions, tells you how to use them as a source of empowerment with literally exercises to shift an emotion from a negative into an empowerment and a positive. And it's also a book that will, aside from bringing you back into balance emotionally and give you those exercises, it will help you re-find your emotional equilibrium, and it also identifies very specific thinking patterns that are triggered by very specific emotions. So for example, if you are struggling with either anxiety or fear, you'll often get into what if thinking patterns where your mind spirals into what if this happens, what if that happens, and it leads into catastrophe. Catastrophic thinking, and as you're into that sort of catastrophe thinking, this could happen and that could happen, and you're counterbalancing all the possibilities whilst creating even more anxiety, which then creates even more of those thinking patterns. You know, there are very specific things. Disappointment, another emotion, very classic. The disappointment thinking patterns are, you know, there are, I don't know, all the good ones are taken, it'll never happen to me, the luck happens to everybody else. Very despondent, but very specific thinking patterns that are triggered by disappointment. So there's a real connection between specific emotions and specific thinking patterns. So that book will help you if you're struggling. So will the library, which is a completely free resource. So I'll put links in the information box and the comments. But this is, I've waffled too much, my apologies. Let's get back to your reading, reading number 2. You are at a turning point, and Spirit is saying to you, this week can be the breakthrough moment for you. Take some time out, replenish, retreat, empty yourself of the spiraling stuff that is going on, both mind and emotions. Bring yourself back into balance, and the breakthrough moment will come. It will be like that symbolic prince coming down, sending you that kiss and waking you up. And it's like a doorway that opens back into life again. So whatever has happened, and I can see that something, for most of you, it's happened because of someone else, connection to someone else. For some, it's intimacy and the loss of a partner. For others, it's a challenge within partnership with another person, but there has been a connection that's thrown you. And yes, you may have thought they were the one, you may have thought you knew the direction you were going in, and now there needs to be a new direction, but the breakthrough moment is coming. Let's draw more cards for you. Let's ask Spirit for more guidance. How is this going to pan out? Can we have more information for reading number 2, please? For the next 7 days for reading number 2. Okay. the Lovers, the Hanged Man, King of Cups, oh this is lovely, Ace of Pentacles, look at this, beautiful, and Three of Pentacles. I want to say, reading number 2, I feel like I want to say the cavalry are going to arrive. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but retreat. Now the card of the Lovers is fundamentally a card of choice. Okay. In some instances, for some of you, if there's been a hiccup, a breakup, a challenge, an argument within a relationship, partnership, it may be that moment will come where you see something clearly and you come back together. There's an opportunity to come back together, to re-find a direction. If you've actually lost somebody genuinely, it may be that a new opportunity comes, or that you also see your part in this. Now this is really interesting as well. I think for some of you as well, where it's felt out of control, it's like rather than being in that space of the inner critic, Spirit is saying to you, look, if you just retreat and instead of being critical, look, you'll actually see kind of, what part you played. Rather than being critical, you can see yourself from an empowered position. And this is going to open up new opportunities and choices, because you're going to see clearly how you wish to move forwards. Now, for some of you, I genuinely think there is either new love or a reunion or a reconnection with someone, or a coming back together, a new person, new direction. We have the King of Cups here. Yeah, it could literally be someone new coming into your world. Even those of you who have loved and lost and didn't think you'd re-find again. It may make you may be having a wobble and be thinking, can I really dare to go there? In which case I venture to say yes, please do go there. We have the Ace of Pentacles here, a new beginning, new opportunities being offered to you, new energy, the source of a new beginning here. And there are people around you. This Three of Pentacles is a card of collaboration, connection, support. And I said the cavalry coming in. I do literally feel there is energy around them. If this is someone, if this is somebody new coming into your life and you're having a wobble, you're really not sure if you should remain in retreat, then retreat and recuperate to put down the past. This is really a card that says put down the past. Remember, the Sleeping Beauty card is, in traditional packs, the card of death. It's transformation and rebirth. It's rejoining life again. This is a 7-day period of a pivotal point of transformation where you can put something down in the past and bring yourself back into balance, allay the fears that say everything's going to go wrong and those psychological stuff that we were talking about, and move into the space of the new. I think for some of you, somebody may be presenting in your world who is offering you the potential for a new beginning. If you came into a crisis in a working situation, I think there will be a new opportunity coming to you at work. If this is a new love for you, you may meet them at work. It may be at work that this person comes through. There is an element of your working world, your, what I would almost call sort of material world, the substance around you, home, family, friends, working world, the immediacy of your world. There's a turning point within that, an opening here. It doesn't feel like a traveling abroad. It's like it's on your doorstep here. So there is going to be an opening, I think. Reading number 2, Spirit are saying to you, look, there will be an opening as soon as you, relax and retreat, but don't then stay in the safe zone. Relax, retreat, balance. And then step through the door as it is open to you, literally as the magic arrives to wake you up again, the breakthrough moment. Seize it, go for it. And there is support around you. This is a pathway into a space of reconnection with people, I'm hearing if you've withdrawn from a situation, whether that's again work, family, relationship, if you have withdrawn, this is a week when, yes, regroup, rebalance, but then as the door is open, step through it. It's not just a regroup permanently, it's a regroup, retreat, get rid of those negative thinking patterns, bring yourself into balance, and then step through that doorway and back into life. You are definitely being offered that opportunity here. And there will be a pathway laid out for you that offers you that step by step back into some kind of a scenario that you've actually stepped away from. Reading number 2, this is a pivotal time. I mean, wow, absolutely wow. Whenever you are finding this reading, I am really wanting to honour your pathway, because whatever knocked you off balance, it was a biggie. The refinding of a new pathway that is different, whether it's in the same situation, the same workplace, or with the same person, or whether it's in a new situation or with a new connection. It feels very karmic. That's what I want to say. It feels like a pathway that is really important. You know, this is realigning you with your pathway, and yeah, it does feel like a stepping back into life, that breakthrough moment, that waking up after a long sleep. So whatever you have experienced, and I do see that some of you have had a very tough call with something, and you know, I really wish to honor that. You know, I wouldn't wish anyone to experience that level of life challenge, but actually, you know, it's also part of our soul growth, and sometimes that's what we have to do in order to sort of find our own wholeness and then carry that through into the next stage of our lives. This is a pivotal turning point for you, reading number 2. Seize the moment, let go of the thinking patterns, sort your emotions and your thoughts out, get out of your own way, rebalance, and seize that opportunity as the door is opened. That breakthrough moment is coming. Super souls, I am just sending you all the love in the world. If this reading has resonated, do subscribe, press the little bell icon so that any of my readings come into your stream as soon as I upload them, whether that's the 7-day readings that I post very regularly every Sunday. I know some of you follow them every single Sunday, but you can tune into these at any time. They're in the Timeless playlist, the Timeless Readings playlist. You can always find a reading in there. I answer my readings in the Timeless Readings playlist, answer lots of specific questions, as well as guidance for 7 days and sometimes 6 months or beyond. So do check them out if you ever are having a wobble or just need that extra bit of guidance. Super Souls, I also have a monthly prize draw where I give away a pack of oracle cards and a free private reading. It's a subscriber offer, and I have a subscriber email list. Add yourself to it. I'll put the link and the link to the library and anything else that seems relevant. I will stick it all in the comments for phone users and in the information box below for anyone on a PC or a laptop or any other device. Super souls, I am just sending you all the love in the world. This is such a transformational week for you. There is real opportunity here, so just tons and tons of love. Welcome to reading number 3. You have been drawn by the 9 of crystals and the feather, and also the rune of the self. This is a beautiful card of anticipation. It's traditionally the 9 of Pentacles in a more traditional pack. Now, I feel like there's a sense of expectation and something about to arrive in your world. But let's draw more cards before we dive straight into what you are shown, what Spirit wishes to speak to you about for the next 7 days. I'll draw from several packs. That is our card. There we go. And also some oracle cards too. as well. I think both of those are wanting to show up today for you guys. So let's have a look and see what we have. This is so interesting. So we have the stone and we have the one. The one came out in reading number 2. This is really fascinating. So we have the one and we have the card of the stone. Let's move those up. Okay, cool. Gosh, there's something really solid, I feel, about to emerge in your world. Let's have a little look at our oracle cards. Shine. Oh, this is gorgeous. The time is right for you to spread your wings and soar. You have something valuable to share. Bring forth your greatest contribution. Step into your fullest potential. Show the world the real you. Reach out and shine. The universe supports your growth. Well, that is just magnificent. Reading number 3. And you have first house arrival. This is fascinating. This card showed up. I think it was in reading 1 as well. Okay, now we're going to need to make sure we have enough room for everything. Okay. Something's about to literally, I just want to say, crystallize in your life. Something's coming together here. The results of something that you've been personally working on, and it's very much about your work. No one else has been doing the work. This rune, the rune of the self, if you were to take the rune of joy, which looks like a sort of P shape, and you split it down the middle like this, that's when you get the rune of self. I feel like you are, there's either going to be an opening with clear guidance like this feather, an opportunity that will create literally that pathway to the arrival of something, or literally something does arrive, an offer of something. We have the 7 of water. We have the 2 of air. And very, very interesting here. We have the 8 of water. So 7 of water, 8 of water, 2 of air. Oh, look at this. Wow. 10 of hearts, culmination. Queen of hearts, sixth sense. Queen of angels, visionary. Wow. Shine, super souls. Something this week, Spirit is saying to you, look, something is going to open up for you this week. Something will align, it will come into balance. You'll see 2 sides of something and you'll know exactly what to do. You will find the direction you've needed. Literally your chakras will, I feel just, it's like things are lining up for you in some way. Something you've been creating is about to surge forwards. You're going to gain momentum. If you've been working on a project and it felt stuck, it's going to move forwards. You're sitting in this space of anticipation. There's something you guys have really been working for that you're waiting to bring forth. This week is, it's the point at which it bursts forth. It sort of starts to become, rather than just an idea within your own mind or something that you are gestating within you, it starts to take form. It arrives in some way, shape or form. Now, because this is a generic reading, it's a general reading. It's also a timeless reading. You could be tuning into this at any time. But what Spirit is saying to you in the next 7 days, something is going to align for you. So something's going to come to a stage of completion. So whether this is a dream and the dream completes to the point where you know what to do next, it's like you've been digging the garden and now you sow the seeds, or you've been sowing seeds and suddenly they start to emerge. But it sort of feels bigger than that. Reading number 3. It's bigger than just sowing seeds. It's like you reach a harvest point, or you reach a point where something is very clear, or somebody reaches out and says, that's an amazing idea. You've been writing to people, you've been contacting people, you've been putting the feelers out there, you've been building and building and building, and suddenly someone comes along and says, that's an amazing idea, I'm backing you 100%. It's like the stars align. There is a culmination point this week, and the arrival of, it's like the next stage of something. It's like the arrival of the publishing deal if you were writing a book, or the arrival of a gift. You know, this is a card of kind of, you know, 9 of crystals. It's a card of anticipation. Something will become ultra clear to you this week. 6th sense, culmination, visionary. You are going to see something really clearly, to the point where you can begin to step up, rise up, be that person, move forwards, take something by the horns and go with it. There is a turning point, but it's not just a turning point, it's a point of realization. It's a point of arrival, a point of opening, a point of alignment, a point of clarity. Something you have been gestating, dreaming about, pondering, feeding, nurturing, waiting for. It just lines up this week. There's a point of, it's a point of manifestation. Spirit wishes you to know that the work you've put in is coming back to you. I love that this card has, I'm just going to move that, feather. I'll just stick it here, bang in the middle of this point of balance card. That feels like a totally cool place for it to be. And the rune of the self here. Again, a point of balance, culmination. I'm going to put it next to the card of shine. Just want to bring this up here because can you see we have oak leaves? You know, we have this crystal point here in a spiral of rainbow colours. It's a spiraling of energy. And we have magic mushrooms here along with oak leaves and acorns and the snails either side. And the frogs at the bottom, all of them are bringing messages of culmination. You have worked so hard, slow and steady has just won the race. You know, it's like you've invested in something in a big way. It's like Christmas Day is about to arrive. Maybe you've had to kiss a lot of frogs before the prince or princess emerges. But now is the magic moment. The oak, the symbol of culmination and fertility in that way. This is there is a magical point for you of arrival. Something is just going to, what I want to say is something is going to fall into place for you. Reading number 3, and Spirit is really validating that. You deserve it. That point of direction is about to become clear. It's really interesting. This isn't, I don't feel this is a completion of a journey. I feel it's a completion of a stage of a journey, which is why I feel something will fall into place that creates an opening. This isn't the grand finale. It's that magical turning point where everything falls into place and you can now spread your wings and soar. Something that was previously hindering you isn't hindering you anymore. Something that was a dream can now be made into reality. It's that kind of flavour. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy, reading number 3. I am dead excited for you. It literally feels like the energy is aligning for you. I'm going to ask for more information for reading number 3 about the next 7 days. What does Spirit wish to tell you about the next 7 days? I feel there is another stuff. The star. Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful energy. This is refinding hope, knowing the direction you're going in, being connected to the future. If you've been tangled in the past, this is the week where it changes. The energy changes. There's a shift in energy and you are now aligned with the future rather than the past. This is very interesting. 6 of Wands. You step into the spotlight. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. Look at this. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Crystals. It's the same card. What a confirmation. 5 of Pentacles. I can really see how this has been a long haul to get to here. It's something you've really worked at. And I honestly think you'd begun to think it was never ever going to happen. That's what I feel. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Crystals, 6 of Pentacles. If you've been working on something, or let's say you've been applying for all sorts of different jobs, for example, this is the point at which you get offered the dream job. You know, your work is paying off. You have every right. I always think with the 9 of Pentacles in this pack, there's a real sense of joyous satisfaction. And it's the self-satisfaction that comes not from an ego place, but from a point where you just know the idea's taken hold and you can run with it. It's self-satisfaction because you've done the hard slog. You've made it happen, you've put the time and energy in, and, you know, rewards are now starting to show. It's lovely. This is the point where, yeah, you get that dream job, or an offer comes through that's going to clarify your direction. The worrying, I think this is really showing me in the middle, the 5 of Pentacles. You guys have been feeling a little bit stuck actually with something for a while, and this is a turning point. Spirit is saying in the next 7 days it's like the penny will drop, the light will dawn, the clarity of the next step you'll know, your own energy will align and you'll be free to move forward. Something that was hindering you is now going to clear, and the way will be clear. Energy wise, something is shifting and moving forwards, and you can now make something real. You can bring it into its truest form and you can shine. For some of you, you literally are going to be in the spotlight. Something you've been working for, you know, juggling, spinning many plates, something you've really been investing in is about to pay off. It is going to come into fruition. You know, something you've been visioning in. And you've been following your gut feeling. Some of you have taken some significant risks around something, as well as putting in the hard work. It is literally about to take form. So your guidance from Spirit this week, I'm so excited. The readings this week are so pivotal. It's amazing. For those of you who follow the readings every week, I just want to say, you know, I am just so, it feels such a privilege to be walking alongside you on your journey at any time when you are tuning in with these readings. I mean, this is a timeless reading. I know some of you do follow the readings every single Sunday for the 7-day readings when I upload them. But, you know, whenever you are tuning in with this is that breakthrough point when you've done the work, you have clarity, you line up, the universe lines up, and suddenly you can make this real. The guiding light is coming, the opportunity is coming. You can put aside those worries that it's never going to happen once and for all, because the opening is there, the renewed energy, the resources, the vision, the clarity. If you've had writer's block, you're now going to know the way forwards. Something is shifting here in the most gorgeous way. Super souls, it's time to shine. Wow, 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 and more wow. Reading number 3, I am so excited for you. It just feels like there will be a clarity of mind and a clarity of heart, your heart and mind and soul, all aligning in the same way, so that your energy can be fired up and you begin to see the rewards return. And you know, it's like you have that sense of knowing, so you can now step forwards with confidence. Super souls, if this reading is resonating with you and you'd like to get notification as soon as I upload anything, if you press subscribe and hit the little bell icon, anything I upload, any of my readings should come into your stream. And I also give away a free private reading and a pack of oracle cards, these ones here, every month. It's a subscriber offer, so do add yourself to my subscriber email list if you wish to. The link is in the information box and the comments for phone users, along with any other links and a listing of the cards I've used and all the stuff that might be useful to you. Super souls, I am so excited for you. I just am. This is like, whew, the energy. Talk about onwards and upwards. I mean, just wow. Super souls, this is stunning, absolutely stunning. I am honoured to be sitting in your energy. Super Souls, sending you all the love in the world, and look forward to seeing you for some other readings, or indeed my weekly lunar updates as well, which I post every Friday. Tons of love. See you soon.